What you do this and you scrap it?
Yeah, so that's coming off the return leg, so that's now redundant. Pete's been looking forward to this threaded, haven't you, Pete?
Do you have a scrap man come and collect it?
No, we've got to take it back into the van later. Think about them gains. There we go. When was the last time we did a bit of 3-inch, Pete?
College.
College? So yeah, return leg. This is all going to be redundant. So we're just going to strip back to bare bones and then we can start making a plan moving forward. Pete's loving life, aren't you, Pete?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good.
What's up guys, happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in to my latest video, The Life of a Jobbing Plumber. So you might have noticed no video last week. It was my 40th birthday. I don't think I've mentioned that much. So I had a week off, went on an adventure, that was cool. So back to business now. This week's video, I'm going to split it into 2 parts because it's going to be quite long. It's my first ever commercial plant room with Glenn. I did this before I went away for my birthday, so that's what this video is. I hope you enjoy it. And then because I've been slacking with the videos recently, I've got a few really interesting ones coming up for you. The one where I went to the College of Lawton Tubes, and on the subject of that, we're doing another one end of April in Bradford. And then while we're in Bradford doing that, I'm going to be at the Harrogate Tool Fair with the podcast, doing some live podcasty stuff. But if you want to come and say hello, have a look around a tool fair. If you've never been to a tool fair before, they're brilliant because it's full of tools and you can buy them cheap for cash. You can just get your hands on stuff and talk to people that make the tools. So tool fairs are really good. And then last week I fitted a boiler. Obviously you'll see this in a video because I filmed the whole thing, but basically fitted a heat only boiler, all done and dusted, dropped my tightness test on, got a gas leak. So I was thinking it was something I'd soldered. I'd only done 3 joints, but I sweated it all off, resoldered it, still got the drop, and then it twigged in my head. When I've drilled the bracket to hang the boiler on, I've drilled through a gas pipe in the wall. So there's that job, me working out what I've done, repairing the gas pipe in the wall. Just a nightmare, but managed to film it all for you, so that'll be interesting. That'll be this week. And then what else have I got coming up? So much stuff. It's just finding the time to do it. So with work and editing videos and all my fitness stuff, just not got the time at the minute, but I'll make more of an effort to put some more videos out. The sponsorship with Power Tool Mate is still on. The discount code was taken down because they had another offer on. That's being looked at going back up live very soon. And also the special PB Plumber / Milwaukee apprentice tool package, like a package to get an apprentice started at a really good price. That's coming very soon, promise you. And Velocity Pro Gear, I am working on some new bags with them, but if you want one of their current range, and sneak preview, they're also designing a press tool bag at the minute and a stealth backpack. Check them out. Both the links to their sites are in the description of the video. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, this video is going to be 2 parts. This is the first part, ripping out the existing plant room and making a start with a new one, and the second video will be finishing the job basically. I hope you enjoy it. Bloody hell, mate. Wheelie bin full.
Yeah.
250 quid in there.
Last week.
And a cylinder. So tell us what we're doing today.
Got plant room to rip out, new boiler to go in. I'm going to reconfigure it all to just be a lot better.
What boiler, Wiesmann?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got 2 handwear V's to come out. We've got loads of different issues on them. So the customer said, right, enough's enough. Let's go for a new one. The reason why we're doing it as well is we can do remote monitoring on that. And we did another plant room for them, so they can control 2 plant rooms remotely in the office, which is in a different building because it's spread out on different sides.
Nice, looking forward to this. It's a lovely day, sun's shining. It's not in a field, is it?
Hey?
It's not in a field, is it?
No, not this time.
No, good. I put a coat on just in case. got them boiler, flue, low loss header.
Yeah, low loss header, connection sets, Viticom, blue elbows, Wiesmann light boxes.
Let's get it on the van. So, little office setup. Got my omelette pizza on the go. Updating my Tradify while Glenn drives me to the job. Because we're about, what? How far's Lutterworth? About an hour away?
No, 35 minutes.
We'll go to Shepshed first to help his dad on the job. So I'm going to send some invoices, eat this. Right, Glenn, try a bit. This is turkey omelette pizza.
Yeah, it's nice that.
Yeah?
That cheese.
That is eat lean cheese, so it's high protein, low fat cheese.
That's nice. That's the best one you've done, I think.
Nice.
Definitely.
If you want to, if you've not seen Tradify before, I don't bang up on about it all the time. Work management, you got a little map there to show you where you're going for the day. It updates. You can do invoicing, you can do quotes, you can do all kinds of stuff. I'll put a link for the free trial in the description of the video, and then if you do want to do it, you can use B Plumber. I think you get 50% off for like 3 months or something, but try the 14-day trial, see what you think, and let me know. Just come to help Glenn's dad on the job, fitting an oil boiler. Glenn's dad uses my service bag as his kit bag. How you getting on with it?
Yeah, it's good. It's made me realise I'm carrying far too much kit,
Heavy.
so I've got to ditch some of it out.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
That's the trouble. If you fully load it, it's hard to lift them, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, it's been very good.
Good. See what it's got in the back. Oh, nice. Brassy. Wiesmann. So what's this? Navian?
Right, so we've got Navian heat only oil boiler. There was a Worcester in beforehand. And the reason we put heat only in to get a bigger pump, because the pump in the Navian I don't think is quite big enough for the amount of radiators we've got. So we've got heat only, we've got a cylinder next to us. And we've got flows and returns up the wall, which serves X amount of radiators on the system. It's for an office block. So this is still on open vent. So we've got expansion, and we've got filter at the bottom as well. But the only downside to Navians, I really like this oil boiler, is the condense is really low. So we've had to use a pump to get over and around to the outlet. But other than that, these are cracky little boilers, and they're so lightweight. We've got a full digital screen on them. You can go in and see all the information that's going on the boiler. If I can try and find, let's see if I can find it. So we can put it in high and low heat. This is a high and low boiler rather than just a fixed output.
And that's off this part.
Yeah, that's the oil pump here. So we've got different solenoid, we're doing different output. Different information in this, which not many oil boilers have got. Here's that menu I was trying to find. So this shows you all what's going on with the boiler. So set temps, supply temp, outdoor sensor we have one plugged in, current water pressure. This is open vent, so that's why that's low. But what this is really good for an oil boiler is you can see your RPM of the fan and your pump and all sorts. I don't know any other oil boiler on the market which shows you what your oil pump is doing. So when you come to any issues, you can see exactly what the boiler's doing. Really handy.
Yeah, the beauty of that is all your valves, whether you've got S-plan, Y-plan, all wire into that.
Yeah.
So you could have that in an airing cupboard, all your valves into that, gets rid of all the switch lives, etc. that you would normally need. And that talks wirelessly to the boiler control.
Yeah.
And to an app that will be on your phone or tablet.
Okay. Can we set a cover off that?
Yeah.
There you go. Ah, so they're all labelled as well. hot water, zone 1, zone 2, cylinder. Cool. So what do now?
Right, so the Navion, it's quite nice that you've got plug and play controls of this, and you can do multiple zones. But you've also got some dip switches that you've got to set up first. So it's going to tell you about boiler type, what size it is, the fuel that you're using, and how you're going to control the system. More importantly, whether you're going to use a switch live or the Navion setup. And that's what we've got over here. We've got the Navion wiring centre, which is going to control the boiler pump and the zone valve for the hot water.
Yeah.
And by doing that, we've got these dip switches here. So we want to use the Navion thermostat. So we need to do 6 off, 7 on, 8 off. We need to put them 7 on.
7 on.
There, lovely. So that will allow us to use the Navion. While we're here, we'll check what else we've got. So boiler type, we've got number 3 should be off on the first block.
Yes.
And then we'll capacity. This boiler is the larger one, so we're number 5 off, 6 on.
Yep, correct.
Great. Other than that, we can leave everything else as is because that's all correct for what we want. And now we can start the pairing process of the step. So now that's been put on, that now will flash. And this is our wireless control receiver and internet box as well, so we can use the Navion Smart Plus app.
So if I hold the RF button in.
Let me just try that because it's already flashing. Let me try. I'll try and pair that now. I can't remember if it's a flashing green or flashing blue we need. So yeah, just press the a couple of seconds. There we go.
There we go, it's flashing red.
Right. There we go. So that's successfully paired now. That will flash for a moment longer.
Cool.
But that's now paired. That controls heat and hot water here. And we can do times and temperature all through this. If we can open the flap. There we go. So we can do all the programs and things. And then I can connect that to the Wi-Fi in the moment, and then they can run it through the Navion app as well.
So that's gone blue, pumps come on. Boiler's just about to fire.
That's fired. There we go, so that's just running. The red light is for Wi-Fi, we're not going to do that yet. That's all synced together. I like this wiring sensor because you can do multiple zones on it.
Yeah, you'd have to say. Similar to the VR66,
Yeah.
is it the Baylor one?
Very similar.
Done a couple of them now.
It's tied it.
Oh, lovely.
Nice. Right.
Yeah, so the first job I ever did, I was working on a heavy oil burner. Picked a spanner up to try and help the guy who was teaching me, and went to put the spanner back in the toolbox, and all of a sudden crack across the back of my hand. And what I'd done is attempted to put a bit of kit back in the box, and the rule is if it comes out, it's clean before it goes back in. Hence, cleaning the kit before it goes back in.
Because he's just, every screwdriver he's putting back in his bag, he's giving it a wipe down. So that's stuck with you your whole career? How long have you been?
Every single day.
How old were you when you started?
16 when I started,
Yeah.
and I'm 67 now,
Wow.
and still at it.
So lesson for everyone out there, just give your apprentice a rap on the knuckles today.
Roundabout. Take the second exit. And take a second to breathe. At the roundabout, take the second exit. Take the third exit. Notice 3 things on the road in front of you.
I noticed the trees are green, the sky is blue, and the tarmac is black. Black!
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout,
What's for dinner? Pins?
take the third
There you go.
Gas installation. This is the gas meter.
Scare reducer. Oh, a 22mm one.
If you think you can smell
Yeah,
gas,
so that would go
fucking
on-
leg it. Right, just arrived. Prime parking spot. We're at Magna Park in Hinckley. No, Lutterworth.
Lutterworth, yeah.
Hinckley.
Right, so this is the plant room we've got. A bit tight, but we've got 2 Hamworthy Stratton frame-mounted boilers, and we've had various issues on both of these, and it's got to the point the customer has said, look, we're sick of spending money on them. So these are coming out, and they didn't want to spend too much, so to save a little bit, we're only going to put one in, because it's not a massive heat load upstream anyway. So the boiler's doing one heating circuit and the cylinder, which is just there. We're going to take all the flue out, because that's a bit rickety anyway. We've always been a bit worried. It's not much of a fall on it, and it's only got a couple of clips on it, on stroller bands. So we're going to sort that out. We're going to lose the low loss header and do the Wiesmann's own one, which is under the boiler. And we're basically just going to try and strip back and tidy it all up. The pressurization unit, which is here, that's faulting, so we're going to get a microfilling. We'll sort the expansion vessel out, and yeah, just generally going to have a bit of a tidy up and make things a little bit more efficient. Oh, the other thing is there's a BMS panel here, and these people are fairly new to the building, and they haven't got the password to the BMS, and no one can hack into it. So we're going to take the control of the heating onto the Wiesmann's own system, and they can do it remotely with the internet that we've got locally. So a little bit to do. Should be a nice little job.
Right, before we start draining it down,
Yeah.
Obviously this is way out of my depth, and it's going to be for a lot of people watching. Can you explain, if I ask you some basic questions?
Yeah.
So both these boilers,
Yeah.
do they run at the same time, or is one a slave boiler?
This is all run through the BMS, so the BMS will tell which boilers.
So this unit here
Yeah.
will be like timed, and it will say, let's call the first boiler boiler A, the second boiler boiler B.
Yeah.
Boiler A will come on for what, an hour? Then this will change. Just an example.
So this will be on weather compensation.
Yeah.
So the boiler will have a lead and lag, I imagine. I don't know, it could be different. It depends on who's commissioned.
But in a
and how
typical
it's
system with two boilers like this, if it doesn't need both, one will run,
yeah.
then the other one will take over, so that the wear and tear is equal between the two.
Yeah. And then they'll rotate it, so it's
And that's controlled by something like this.
through the VMS panel, yeah.
Right, and then flow and return comes out. They both join into this,
Onto the low loss header.
into the header. So basically the boiler will circulate through that header and back until one of these pump sets comes on.
Yeah, correct.
And then moves it to either the hot water or the different heating zones.
Yeah, heating circuit up there. So we've got one heating circuit and one hot water circuit.
So this boiler, boiler A will come on, run through the header, and then heating will call, this pump will come on and send it up that pipe to the heating. Hot water will come on and it will pump to the hot water cylinder.
Bizarrely on this, which I can't get my head around, is the pump sets here are for the hot water, and they're bigger than the heating.
Well, obviously
So someone's
they're
changed.
older.
Well, I think they are older than these,
Okay.
because that's a fairly new Grundfos compared to that, and I think these have been changed. I don't know. It's a bit bizarre. I can't.
What's all the speed fit then?
So I think there's a bathroom or toilet behind,
Oh, someone's added
and
it on.
someone's added it on. You really shouldn't have speed fit in a commercial.
And
company.
this, just explain how this pressurization unit works.
So there's a small system tank in here, if you like, and a very small, like, coffee machine pump that pressurizes the system. But these aren't very good.
And why do you need one of those? Just keep it constant?
No, it's water reg. So above
okay.
70 kilowatt, you have to have a pressurization unit.
Right.
And obviously in the plant room, you won't want to come and turn that on every 5 minutes if the system has got a bit of air in it.
Yeah.
So you have to have a pressurization unit just to keep that pressure on point, really.
And that's
split, I think. I'm going to top it up and see if it's okay, but I have a feeling that will be
replaced. So really, we're not going to alter any of the pipes and that. We're just going to.
This is on a flow header, so we come out on the flow, and then it joins back down on the return. There's a big loop. When it doesn't really need it, we can just go back to those two flow and return legs, and I've done this on a 4-pipe on the boiler. So we could cut back a hell of a lot and get rid of all of this if we wanted to. Once we get these out, I'm gonna see where we're at.
Okay, so we've not got a drain point at the minute, so we need to try and drain it. We can isolate the boilers from the system coming off those red lever valves.
Well, the system can be emptied completely. There's only
okay.
one floor radiators. We've got a return valve, but no flow valve. I think I'm just gonna pull the lot. We're not losing anything. The hot water's on immersion, so yeah, we can start chopping out.
Getting it
So here we've got no drain points and only low points, unless there's one on the header. Yeah, we have. We've got one on the header, so we can start draining from here, and then just do the whole lot.
Cool. Are you having trouble with your drain cock, mate?
Yeah.
It's dribbling like your... it's dribbling out like your penis after a weekend at Butlins. So Glenn's had a pig draining down, the drain cock didn't work. I've stripped the flues out and all the brackets. So I'm hungry, let's have some snap, and then what we're going to do, get the boilers off.
Yes. Boils off, strip out, blank canvas.
And then we'll see what we're faced with.
Got another site just down the road now, that one's... It's a brand new boiler, but I'm not convinced the controls work.
Where's that?
Just the old Armstrong dome, just on
Oh,
the back
okay.
of
What boiler is it?
that. I can't remember now, it's a brand new.
Oh, okay.
We didn't fit it, but it was fitted well. Just they moved into the old Aston one. This side. Our problems of commercial taking on more than we've got. We had to move in there. Only moved in May. It's a nightmare. I hate it. Never really happened.
That sounds better. Yeah, we've got no proper drain cock in it, so we'll have to let it go.
So disconnected the pipe back to the boiler. They're just held on by 2 bolts. These were captive. The nuts are off, so the boiler is now just going to lift off, but it's too heavy for Glenn to lift on his own, so I'm going to give him a hand. So that's the 2 boilers out. So this pipe work's coming out, header's coming out.
Yeah, go back to the flow and return.
And then, do you think we can reuse the frames, or are they going to come out as well?
To be fair, I think I might just put the boiler on the wall for what it's worth. But probably that way a little bit.
So I'll get this frame stripped out.
Yeah.
Just undone that flange, so that should come up. Get rid of that. And then same with the bottom one. Take that out, then we can get the frame out. This header's coming out because we're using a Wiesmann header. Boiler's out, frame's out. That's all the flue. Just using Dave Cook's sweeping brush. Right, a status report. So pretty much stripped out now. We've capped the gas. Glenn's just taking the header out. I've had a quick tidy up with Dave Cook's brush. And really we want to make a materials list and work out what we're going to do with the pipe next. Do you agree?
Yeah. It's nice to get stripped out. A bit more room now.
And then today, do you want to get the boiler on the wall?
Yeah, we can have a look at doing that.
What time are we on? 1:10 Right, so now this is out of the way, we can see this is our flow and the bottom one is our return, which comes around here, up, along, and then it picks up the return from the hot water cylinder, and above it the return from the central heating system, and then it carries on round here down and into the top of the header. So it's just a loop. So you got flow out, return at the bottom.
Returns at the bottom, so it comes out the top, goes up onto this big flow header.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but it's all in one loop. So it's up here, along,
all the way around,
does the flows, but then also picks up the 2 returns.
Yeah,
so it's just one big loop.
Yeah, it's one big loop. That's it. It's a loop.
So what we need to do, we've got 28mm there, flow and return to heat that. So we're going to cut them, take all of this out, and then our flows, this is the flow to the radiators, to the heating system.
Correct, yeah.
And that's the flow to the hot water cylinder. So that's going to go, the pumps are going to go, because we've got a pump in the boiler. So we're going to basically get rid of a lot of this pipe work and redo it in 28mm copper.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I'll probably do the central heating circuit in, I think that's in 42mm. So just
oh yeah, that's 42.
maintain the flow rates on that.
So the heating will be bigger, but yeah, so a lot of this is going to go. So
just cut
cut the header out, cut that part of the reset. There's a few clips to come off. What do you do this and you scrap it?
Yeah, so that's coming off the return leg, so that's now redundant. Pete's been looking forward to this threaded, haven't you, Pete?
Do you have a scrap man come and collect it?
No, we've got to take it back into the van later. Think about them gains. There we go. When was the last time you did a bit of 3-inch, Pete?
College.
College. So yeah, return leg. This is all going to be redundant. So we're just going to strip back to bare bones, and then we can start making a plan moving forward. Pete's loving life, aren't you, Pete?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good.
She's a gusher. I was hoping for a bit more than that. Well, you know. Oh, there we go. Right. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. That's the radiator. So why wasn't that coming out of the pump was holding that back, was it?
No, it's because it's on the drop, isn't it? That goes into the drop, and it'll only kind of go up to where it's filled.
Okay.
But I just wanted to do that there, just make sure we did have.
Yeah, because we were going to cut it up there. It would have been fucking soaked.
And then I've had no control, so I thought if I do it here, I've got a couple of valves. Cut below, then we can start stripping up. There you go.
Cheers, Glenn. So yeah, we're just ripping out of this. Mate, the toilet's in the next.
Next door, it's easy, it's on the floor.
Oh, sorry. Let's put that there.
Yeah, you can do that, yeah.
Right, now this should, because I've cut it off the flow header there and off the feed to the rads. It's not screwed down. Is it screwed down? Yeah, it's screwed down.
You might have a bracket on that back wall.
So we've got a suspicion that's a new pump, so we're going to keep that. Just cut this completely out. We don't need any of that anymore. That's where it attached onto the flow header, and then that's the feed to the rads that we're going to get back onto, probably closer to the wall, but we'll just cut it out there for now. And then next we're going to take this pump set out.
I'd like to retain that. Yeah, there we go.
Screwdriver holder.
Oh, hello.
Look a bit clearer in here now. So we've got the 2 pump sets out, all that pipe work's gone. So this pipe here is the feed to the hot water, that pipe there is the feed to the heating. That's Phil. So we need to now cut the return from the water, the return from the heating, and take the rest of this header out.
Then, that's it. We're back to bare bones, so then we can start planning routes and where we're going to run to.
Get the laser in. Yeah. Right, pretty much blank canvas stage now, so we're going to get the boiler on the wall. Just drag the boiler in on the pallet. Right, this is proper old school, but you might never have seen these before. This is a Marksman pen. I think they were on Dragon's Den about 7 or 8 years ago. Basically, it just sprays paint like that. You can get an XL, and if you're working on, obviously these, it's easy. You could have just done that with a pen. But if you're working on something a bit thicker, and you need to mark through, you need like a really thin pencil. It will spray it through the hole and leaves a mark, and that you can use that on paint, and it will just wipe off if you don't need it. So that's the boiler on, and then this is the header.
Not wanting to come out of the box, is it? So that will sit underneath connections. Just get this up. There we go.
Ooh, look at that. Go on then, tell us what it does.
So that is a low loss header which is mounted underneath the boiler, and you can see we've got multiple tappings on it, so we can choose which way we come out of the boiler to do the heating, and we can also do 4 pipe off this for domestic hot water. So what I want to do now, we get these connection pipes, join these on, get it connected to the boiler, and then that can give us our indication marks for our flow return direction.
That's cool. So that's just connected onto the boiler and it's floating in midair. So you see we've got these 2 blanks here. We're going to take them off, blank off this side because we're going to come in out this way and then going up to connect on those that are above my head, dripping on my shoulder. Day 2 of the job with Glenn. I'm making him his own omelette pizza this morning because he ate most of mine, if he liked it that much. So I've done him a margarita. There you go, mate. What do you reckon to that?
Oh, look at that.
It's all for you.
No, not all of it.
Margarita omelette pizza.
Right.
I need your review.
That is really nice. Really good. And you wouldn't think that could be such a good breakfast item, but...
So all that is, it's 2 eggs, egg whites, tomato,
Tomato is good.
low-fat cheese, and then it's like a flatbread base.
That cheese, to be fair, spot on for, you know, for a low fat, you would think
Yeah.
that it's
High protein, low fat, but yeah.
really good.
It looks like one of them pizzas you get when you're on holiday in Spain.
15ml tea in a drain cup, long shank. 15 tea. Yeah. Long shank. Still got my long shank now.
So just put a thing in instead.
What?
One of them spigot things you screwed on them.
Right, little competition. There's our bag of gear. Guess how much is in this bag? Listen to it. Guess how much that cost. Whoever guesses closest, I'll give a prize to. So going the messy bastards, just tipped all the fittings on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm cutting these back now. We've got a rough idea where we're going along here. I'm cutting these 2 back to here because obviously this one's down here at the minute and this one came this way. And then we'll take the sockets off them, go along to that wall, come down.
Oh, don't tell me he's done me already. He's fucking done me. He's done me.
Why?
He's only given me 1 female eye instead of 5. No, he's not. They're not.
So these are 42mm 1/2 inch centre press tees because we're going to put the air bottles in there. The original plan was to put them on the end there with the tees looking up, but to get from 42mm out of here all the way down to 15 it would have been really long, so we just got these. So using this Loctite 577 massive tube, a little bit around the end, and then that just turns in, and then we'll tighten it in. Sorted. Right, so go on.
Did you turn the radio?
Yeah, just so I can film this. So last night we put the header on, but we've got to put these on first, and this is so we can connect the hot water circuit. So that is going to go between the boiler and the header. So we're going to whip that off now, put that on, and then once that's on, we've got the laser out, and we're going to set. We've got a Spirotech air separator and dirt separator to go on, and then once we've set that up, off those laser lines, we'll then connect onto that, what I've just done. And then think about where we're going to take the hot water. We've got a pump to go on one of these on the flow, and then we've got to pick the return up. Okay, so that's then made on there just with a fibre washer, and then our low loss header now here and here are going to connect onto here and here, and then we've got these tap-ins for a hot water circuit. So because this is quite heavy, big lump of metal, it's got these wall brackets on, and then the insulation goes over them like that, and then we'll attach this now to here, and then it bolts in at the side to hold it on those brackets. So what we're doing now is making all our connections on, so that's our return from the hot water. Glenn's doing the flow with the pump on, and this is our flow return for the heating. Once we've got all this manifold that we can just pipe into, now we're going to pipe off it. So I'm just putting in the flow for the radiators. We've got the de-aeration on there. Now this is 28mm, this pipe here is 35mm. Now we can use the Nova Press AC 103, I think this is. AC 102. This one will do up to 35mm, but this fitting here, this pipe here and here is 42mm. So for that we need this jaw, which goes, if I can do it with one hand without trapping my fingers, that goes on there like that, and then we need an adapter to go on there to press that. And 42mm, you need the next size gone up, which is this one, which is the 203 plus, which also I've got the 35mm jaw in. So yeah, this is I don't think I've worked on anything this big before, because you know what, I am just a domestic combi slinger, so this job's really interesting to me. So yeah, we're going to be pressing that in a sec. I can't do it with one hand because it's just all two. I need to keep it all in line with the level and stuff, but you get the idea. That's with the adapter on, so I'll make sure it's still all level, and then so we've got the central heating circulator pump in, the deaerator in, and that's all pressed in place. Now what we've got for the Spyrotex is these jackets, which I've shown you before. So that's going to be on there like that, and that. Then we're going to have the front piece that goes round the actual deaerator stuck on there. I've got a plan now, my next pipe along, because normally we would put them equal distance, but if I'm not going to get the next jacket in next to it, it's going to have to be further across. So just going to plan that now. Where's that cool? But once this is all finished and lagged and they're on, they look really cool. So you've not heard from Glenn for a while. The updates aren't going to be as much because we're just cracking on with the job now, but Glenn's just stripped out the, what was that called again? Pressurization unit. I've got the two Spyrotex in, they're bang on level, hopefully they're bang on level because I used the laser in their jackets. Pumps on, so now we're just working out how to connect these two onto these two. We have got to cross them though, because the TRVs in the office block are not bi-directional. So we've got to cross them over because they need to be on the flow. And I'm going to make us a cup of tea. So Glenn is working out now how to cross this. So sod's law, they're the wrong side of each other. Tell them what you plan on doing.
So my initial thought was just traditional 90 down, 90 across and straight in, but it's going to look naff, so I've just decided to follow the profile of the flow. We're going to come across in front of it, 90 up there, 90 straight in. So it look a bit busier here, but I think that'll look nicer following that angle.
You got more room that end.
Yeah, we've got more room here.
They're 190mm apart, them two pipes in there.
I don't really want to drop heavily here, so nice lift up, I think.
Yeah, it's looking good. So it's left enough room to get the lag in and that one in front, but I think that looks alright.
Hello.
So that's the template for the microphone. Well, not the template, the bracket. Cold in, cold out, Tundish, power. So this is the gas. We're just turning this out because it was on this flange before. We don't need that, so we're going to put a tap in, a bush straight into that. So this solenoid valve, I guess this is what shuts the gas off if
So
there's...
you've got an emergency switch out by the door of the plant room, and
And
then you link to the thermal switches above the boilers.
So if there's like a fire in here or something, this will cut the gas off to this room, basically. But yeah, we're just going to turn this out here. Should have done this on the pipe, never mind. Oh, never. Like that. So now we're ready for 28mm pipe on that press fitting. Press that into there. It's got to get to that on the boiler, so we're probably going to run it down and then behind the low loss header and back up. So piping this up, this is the cold in, so that's going to connect into there, and this is what fills the system. You have to use the flex for the warranty on the unit, and that's got a T in somewhere.
So that's the inlet. I think I'm going to put it into here and go up to kind of create an anti-grav loop for the expansion vessel.
Right, so I am done here for now because I'm not back tomorrow. Glenn is coming on his own. Can't do any more today because he forgot to buy any 28mm copper because he's an idiot. So we can't finish off the 28mm hot water circuit.
Stupid boy.
And then I might be back here on Monday. Obviously we've got the flue to do, so that'll be fun. Yeah,
Not far off. We broke the back of it.
we're not far off. Heating's connected, that's all done. All the way across. And oh yeah, we've got to lag it as well. That'll be next week.
Right, this is full. Absolutely full. So bang that one, get that out, and then I can pump it, hopefully revive it.
Right, go on.
I can hear air. That sounds good.
Do you want the Milwaukee? So it should be 0, it should be flat.
Cheers.
Yep. Right, when you turn that on, it should start spraying out this hose. There we go. Right, that's stopped now, so hopefully vessel's charging. Right, moment of truth, will it hold? Sounds good.
I'm gonna drop on here.
Right, so before, this plant room had no drain cock. This had no service valve on it whatsoever. So I've just cut in a lever valve and a drain cock down there. So every year when I come to service the boiler, I can get this top back up. So we've got some expansion. This was full before.
So basically, isolate that,
Yep.
put your hose on there so there's nothing, and then
Yep.
you can see the pressure of this and you can top it up.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely that.
So Glenn uses this Milwaukee M12 laser level, which is awesome because it uses, get it out, little M12 batteries, so obviously rechargeable. Does, what does it do? 3 different lasers, doesn't it?
Yeah, so horizontal,
Yeah.
vertical, and another vertical, so 360 direction.
The magnet is so strong on this. Right, I'm trying to pull that now. Pulling, yeah, it's a really good magnet. How much are they?
That one is about 500 quid. But I thought, well,
Do they do a cheaper one?
they do one that's just like the standard, like DeWalt ones. So they were kind of the first to do laser levels, weren't they, with batteries?
Yeah.
So like a standard 2-way, I think that's about 300 quid. But again, same battery platform.
Yeah.
And then they do one that's even smaller, which has got like I think it's a USB-C.
Oh yeah, the one that they use on their like head torches.
Head torches stuff, and it's got like a thin battery, and they're about 200 quid. But
Yeah.
I thought, well, it's the same battery platform. If I'm going to buy one, I might as well buy that one.
Yeah, we do. Honestly, we use laser levels more and more these days. So if you want one, it is a good bit of kit. This is the one Ben's got as well. But Ben's is the one with the smaller battery, the little, like we just said, the head torch one. Goes onto a pole as well. That's the model.